Hello,
Okay, so I want to
can you
welcome
hear
each and every one of us once again to this powerful edition of the Sismo Impact Circle, right? So today is very special, right? Not because we have a guest actually, but because we have someone who has actually walked this same path that many of you are trying to go through now, and he didn't just pass jump. I think I made a mistake in the flyer. It was 324, not 320. It was 324. And then his post ME, I think, was 340. Maybe when he comes, he will correct me if I'm wrong with the post ME score. It was around 340. Then the jumbo was 324. I wrote 320. I forgot actually. So and he didn't just go to school like attend university and just come out. He studied chemical engineering. He excelled in it. So it is not something you get a normal day, and it's very important that when people have worked a particular part, you get to hear from them. It kind of shortens the learning curve for you. The mistakes they made or the things they did in the past that didn't work, they can share with you. And there's something one man I look up to so much. There's something he normally says. That's Dr. Sam Adeyemi. Sam Adeyemi always say that once that success can be replicated, how can success be replicated? If you see somebody that has worked a particular part, if you follow exactly the kind of things that person has done, there is no way you're not going to achieve success as well. So success can be replicated. So I'm glad to have um, Mr. Good Gift. I call him up, and that's my classmate back in school. So we navigated the journey of chemical engineering together for 5 years plus. And one key thing about him is I will call him a critical thinker. So back then, if we are reading a particular textbook, and then textbook they will skip steps. You know how textbook can be. So they will skip their steps and then come to a conclusion. What we'll do is to call this man. He will now look at the steps and use like 4 pages to tell you the steps that they skipped. So it's so it's a man that I respect so much in terms when it comes to sciences, and he has been teaching as well for so many years now, and I'm glad to have him. So it's more like a family meeting, and we are glad to have you. So welcome. And if you look at his profile, I think he won about 5 competitions back in secondary school. This man, mathematics, I think it was second position, and the Nigeria Drug Law Enforcement Agency competition, he also won that one as well. I think third position or thereabout. So it's a man that when it comes to maths, physics, chemistry, back then we leave it to him, right? So we are glad to have you. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you very
Welcome, sir.
much, my brother and friend, Ezelo MS, and then thank you everyone. Once
Yeah,
again, I say
thank
good
you.
evening, everyone.
Thank you so much. We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will try my best to be as professional as possible.
All right,
So,
it's fine. It's
all
fine.
right, yeah, I'll try my best. Okay, all right. So how it will happen now is that so that we'll stay within the compass of some things. I'll be asking him some questions, and he'll be giving us answers to those questions. So that
All
if
right.
you have your own questions as well in the audience, right, you can as well bring it on. Titiola is not here on the call, and she has mentioned that she needs this section very well. Anybody that has her contact can actually message her to tell her we've started. All right. Mr. Good Gift.
Yeah.
You wrote Jump in 2017, right?
Yes, sir, I did.
And that was your first Jump.
Uh, Actually, in 2016, surprisingly, I wrote. You may be surprised. I don't even know
Okay.
whether you are aware. I wrote in
Oh,
2016.
I'm not. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
So I wrote
Can
in
you remember the
2016.
score?
You would not believe. You just would not believe. It was completely.
Share with me. Share with us. Share with us.
Now, I just good. I thank God for this question. At least it will bring you to the terms of the fact that I am a man also, and
Yes.
so long as you are a
Yes.
man,
True.
and when care is not
Mm.
taken, even mistakes can be made. All right.
Yes.
uh
True. True.
So in 2016, actually, I left secondary school in 2016. So
Okay.
actually, the very first jam I even wrote was in 2015, SS2.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Yes,
Interesting.
yes. So one auntie of mine just told me to write jam that she wanted to test my ability and my knowledge. You get,
Mm.
something you've never done before,
Yes.
and I think it was that 2015 that the CBT system began. Something you've never tested before, and being very young, using the
Yes.
computer to write an external exam as high as jam for the very first time. I
Yes.
think the pressure and the phobia
Yes.
also contributed to the results. Actually, the phobia and the pressure of having not written that
Mm.
exam before, and then
For
now
the
having to
yeah.
write it at a very tender age, you get. So I think I scored the very
Mm.
first jump. I scored 200 and either 207 or 208 in SS2.
Okay.
Do you get?
Okay.
Yes. And I think
Yes.
that first jump I didn't finish it. I didn't finish that first jump. Even my second jump now, when I came to SS3, when I came to SS3, you would not believe. I scored 175 in jump.
Can you stop, sir? Can you stop? So wait, this story is becoming interesting. I don't know. Anytime we have guests this way, some background this thing will start coming out, which is very, very interesting, right? So 2016 was 174. Is that what you said?
Yes, 175.
175. That's
Yes,
interesting. So
175.
you can hear people on the call. You can hear that his first jam, the one he wrote in 20, okay, second jam 2016. I can't count that of 2015 because you are in SS2 as of then. Not yet time to write. So we can just
Yes.
take that as maybe in titration we have rough title. So that was your rough title.
Exactly, sir.
Okay, so now, but then 2016 you wrote jump and that was around 174. So I believe people on the call can hear this, that the person that now wrote the second time and had 324 at the time had 174. You can imagine the gap, you can imagine the leap. You understand? So he didn't just come from the sky. I love that very perspective. And I'm glad that he scored that 174. This story will make more sense now, you know.
Good.
All right. So and that's where the question comes in. First one was 174, and then the increase in percentages of our women is more than 150% increase if I'm calculating properly. I know you can do that offhand. The increase, can you hear me?
I can hear you,
The
sir.
the increase is up to 150%, right?
Uh, no, not really. We wouldn't go in that direction. It's not up to 150% because 100% increase now is an additional 175 there. So you would have 350.
175,
So it's
yes.
not so it's
350,
not
okay.
actually up to 100%. All right.
Around 70-80%.
Something of that
Yeah.
sort.
The, the mathematics guy have done it. Say me, I know Sabi Maths now. All right. So
It's
beautiful.
fine. It's
All right.
fine.
So what we are at that moment when you prepared for jam, what was the thing you did differently? Like, what was the approach you used this time around? Seeing that you had 174 and then all of a sudden there was a leap of 324. So what changed? Was it the mindset that changed? Was it the approach? So what really happened within that time frame, just within 1 year? So what really happened within that time frame? And as of then, you have left secondary school as well. And it's expected
Yes, sir.
that while in secondary school, because of the kind of competitions you won in 2015, I think that 2016 would have been more higher,
Yeah.
including your WAEC result as well. So, but then just tell us
Exactly.
what really, and I forgot to add, his WAEC result as well. I think you might talk about that. Very brutal result he had in WAEC as well. I think one of the best in my department back then. So, can you just tell us what happened? What was the leap? What was the change? What did you do differently for your 2017 job?
Okay. I could remember very vividly that after my second jam in SS3, in fact, people
Mm,
expressed a great deal of shock. Myself, I was really shocked. But I don't know what happened. I think it
mm,
was because when something like this happens to somebody who knows who knows he's good by the grace of God, you begin to feel
yes,
very bad. And if
yes,
care is not taken, you may feel very depressed. I don't know whether you understand what I mean.
yes,
But I think I was
yes.
also surprised myself that I never laid that failure to heart, as though I was anticipating that something greater would come. That's the first mindset you must have.
Mm,
Yes,
good.
that once you face something that seems to be difficult, and then the results you wanted to have, you didn't have it, or you didn't see the results you expected. It's just very important that you have a positive mindset, as though this is actually a work and a labor, so to say. As though you had a good result. You must maintain a positive attitude, a positive mindset. Very, very crucial. That's number one. It
Mm.
is key to
So
every
number one, take
exploit,
home
remember. It is
positive
key to
mindset.
every
I continue, sir.
exploit. Can you hear me, sir?
Go ahead, sir. Yeah, we can hear you. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Positive
A
mindset.
positive
Taking note of, yeah.
mindset. A positive mindset is the first key a man must have before he can do exploit on this side of heaven. Very, very important. You
Mm,
must have it.
mm,
You must have that mindset, regardless of the failures you've had in time past, so to say, regardless of the challenges, regardless of the obstacle. Strive as much as you can to have a positive disposition. Always have that mindset that something positive could come out of your life better than today, better than it was yesterday. That's the first step.
mm, mm,
Then,
mm.
secondly, now I could remember very vividly. I had a few friends who were also very good. Actually, because that year,
Okay.
my friends also had their own share of the service Jam did to us. Jam actually disfavored us for that year. You get? Because I have
Mm-hmm.
the friends I
Mm.
had who were also exceptionally good. Never wanted to. I went along the line of engineering, but these friends of mine wanted to study medicine. So you could understand they even needed a higher
Mm.
they even needed a higher jump score than myself. I don't know whether you understand. So
Yes. Yes, I get the point.
because of
Yes.
that, I had one of them who scored 240 something or 50. Jam was generally bad that year. You get? So I had a friend of mine who scored, I think it was 240 something or 250 something. So he still remained because, of course, that wasn't up to the medicine cutoff mark. So I had
Was
another
that
one
doc?
also. Can you hear me?
Was that doc? Was it doc?
Yes, doc, exactly, doc.
Okay.
Now,
Meanwhile, doc
you
is
know,
is joining us next week. Doc is going to be here
okay,
next week.
okay, okay. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. You just know of one dog, some Dutch corner, but I have two other dogs. I had three dogs
Okay.
surrounding me there. You get? The
Okay. Yeah.
potential
Powerful.
dogs,
Yeah.
prospective dogs.
Yes.
So these
Yes.
guys now, because what they got that particular year weren't up to the cutoff mark expected, they also were at home. So first, positive mindset. Secondly, was the community of men I surrounded myself with.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
These men were people that you would sit down with and discuss, and if you are not thoroughly furnished in knowledge, you will be lost in whatever discussion they engage you in. And because
Hmm.
of that community that I have amassed myself, sometimes people don't understand something. Isolation cannot take you far. Yes. I am telling
Hmm.
you of something that can
Hmm.
help you even when you are at your lowest point. What you just need to do is to bundle yourself like a lifeless log of wood and place yourself in their midst. And just with the passage of time, you are kindled. Because
Hmm.
these were exceptional men. You are just, even if you don't talk, if you continuously subject yourself to a community of people who are very excellent minded, very high in their thinking, very critical in their thinking, very excellent in their approach of things in life, you would find out that influence will begin to rub off on you unconsciously.
Hmm. True. I agree.
On, and once that influence begins to rub off on you unconsciously, you are beginning to have that consciousness that I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to sit up. Look at this,
Hmm.
my friend. I need to. Sometimes we even went to the library together.
Hmm.
We sought out for wonderful textbooks. Maybe when this person sees a textbook, he recommends it to the other fellow because we are a community of like-minded individuals. Once a person finds a textbook that is very beneficial, he recommends it to his friend, and the other person also picks the textbook up, and then we dust the textbook and read it to finish. In fact,
Hmm.
sometimes when we are
Hmm.
reading this particular textbook, you would want to get something that you know is not common, a knowledge you would know is not common, so that on the next time you will meet your friend, you will ask him, "Do you know this question?" Then your friend will say, "This question, I've not seen it in the textbook. Oh, how come?" Then you will now tell that friend of yours, "See, I read this from this particular textbook. That book I told you I bought. That book that someone gave me. That new textbook that I got from my friend's house." See, all those things helped us get used to and meet very several questions that we wouldn't have gotten if we had stood individually and not networked.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't know whether you understand what I
Oh.
mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. I get your point.
sometimes and sometimes when we now sit in a community of like-minded people and then we are studying and reading, sometimes even the best of the students, the best among us, if I should use that word, of course, because even among exceptional people, there is someone who is
Yes. Yes.
always the
Yeah.
number
Sure.
one. Most of he may not
Yes.
always, but majority of the exams, he may be the one who surpasses others. I don't know whether you understand.
Hmm. Yeah. I get the
So
point. Yes. I get the point.
when you sit in the company of these men, because they too are very good men, although you excel them in most of the exams, it doesn't necessarily mean you are better than them because you could sit with them and you are struggling with a particular question. One who is considered to be the least among them can show up and say, "Which question is this?" He sits down with it, and in 5 minutes time, the question you've been struggling for about 1 hour, in 5 minutes time, the guy has
Yeah.
dismantled that question.
Yes. Yes. True. I get the point.
I don't know. So God, the thing was so made in such a way that everyone functioned within the limits of his strength. You get?
Hmm.
And the truth remains
Hmm.
that it may not be voiced out, but it's only always in a community of like-minded people that although they are a community of people who are exceptional, yet once everyone goes to the comfort of his own home, he wants to do something beyond what they have done communally when they were sitting together.
I hear you. I hear you, sir. I hear you, sir. Completely.
So
I agree.
these are some of these particular things now are some of the things. Not all of those personal ones now will be disclosed to the other friends. Not all of them will be
Hmm.
disclosed because you actually
Hmm.
want to, at every point in time, you want to come up with an idea that will dazzle them. You want to come up with, you want to be
Mm.
one of the most contributing persons. I don't know whether you understand. And although you don't
Yes.
even interact with them, you know their strength. When you interact with a man, you know the man's strength. And so
Mm.
when you want to shine beyond the capacity of everybody surrounding you, what you need to do is to go into your closet and then
And pay the price.
outlive them personally now.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
Personally
Yes.
now.
True.
So there were some nights. In fact, those I think it was that time, if I'm not mistaken, or could it be after jam? I can't remember very vividly now, but I can remember that I woke up from sleep one day in the morning, and my mom told me something very interesting. She asked me, "Do you know what happened the previous night?" I said, "No, ma." She said, "You're not aware of what happened the previous night?" I said, "No, ma." She said, "I woke up from where I was lying down and sleeping, and came to their room where she and her husband was sleeping. And then I walked from where I was sleeping, walked into their room, and was talking, putting formulas and writing on the air.
Hmm.
Now, after putting these formulas and writing on the air, I went back again and lay down and started sleeping as though nothing
Hmm.
happened.
Yeah. I
So
understand that
when I
rem.
woke up in this,
I understand that rem. I understand that rem. Back in, I
so
understand. Continue.
so you could see that these were actually things that actually ate into the innermost part of our beings. It entered into our subconscious.
Yes.
So that even when you are sleeping,
Yes.
you could see yourself solving things, doing some things. So
Unconsciously, you know.
unconsciously, subconsciously, you are just doing these things because it has become the part and parcel of your life.
Hmm.
You never slept then without seeing yourself solving one or two problems. In fact, I studied in Dennis Memorial Grammar School, Onisha. I went to wake up one of my friends because we lived in the dormitory for SS1 and SS2 and SS3. I lived in the dormitory. So I went to wake up one of my friends that night because I wanted to get something from him. He's actually, okay, he graduated this year as a medical doctor from University of Ibadan. So
Oh,
this
but
friend
yeah.
of mine, he scored 301 in JAM, also an excellent
Hmm.
student. Do you get? I went to wake him up one night so that he could help me. I think I felt hungry that night. I think I went to borrow maybe a milk or tea. I can't
Hmm.
remember. Of course, you know the life of those in the
Yeah,
hostel.
yeah, 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 yeah. We get, yeah.
When I went there, I said, Emeka, Emeka, Emeka. The young man was sleeping, but what I heard dazzled me. It shocked me. What I heard was acceleration equal to velocity over time. Velocity equal to distance. And I said, my God.
Oh, my bro.
I said, I said,
Oh, my.
I said, my God.
That's
When I
see,
just
that
heard
is
it,
a
my
signal
God,
of what he was doing before he slept off. He was doing something before he slept off.
hi,
He was doing something
hi,
before he
my
slept
God.
off.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Kai. I think we lost him. Uh, can you hear me? Mm. Hello, everyone. Uh,
to leave him and go. I,
okay, okay, go ahead. Yeah,
hello, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we
So I
can.
said,
Yes,
so
yes.
immediately that friend of mine made that statement. Hi. I said, this young man, I just laughed. I didn't want to disrupt the calculation he was doing in
Mm.
the spirit world. I had to leave him and then went to my room. Then, then I wanted him to gain victory in that realm. I just I just
Exactly.
left him.
Mm.
So I had to leave him. And then the next day, I think I told him what he did, and he was amazed. So these things are things that are normal in the life of those who commit themselves to a particular task and give themselves fully to it. And then something else that I can talk about is
Mm.
um I actually studied into the night. Very, very important. Of course, it's just
Mm.
an offshoot of what I already
Mm.
said before. Yes, I actually
Mm.
studied into the night. Into the night. In fact, as of our SS1, I knew that I had this hunger for knowledge. I could remember very well in our SS1, we were told that the school that we were studying in, that the foundations of the school were founded upon it was founded upon the virtue of excellence. Yes, we were told that. And because of that,
Mm.
and we are told, imagine a school that produced the best mathematician in Africa in 2007. The best mathematician in Africa. So this thing is actually, hello, am I heard?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can hear you. Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you. I
good.
can hear you.
So, okay, so imagine I went to a school where we were told that The best mathematician in Africa, 2007, came from there. 2007 set, where we are always motivated by our principal. When we are told that we could do anything we wanted to do, that the spirit of excellence was residing in the school. So it made us very hungry and desperate for knowledge. And you see,
Mm.
there are no during our days there were distractions though, but the distractions are not as intense and immense as the distractions the children of the young people of this generation have. That's why more discipline is required today, actually. So I could remember those days as of my SS1. I was already buying books for advanced level. I could remember mistakenly buying, of course, I didn't know it was an advanced level mathematics book, actually. I thought it was for secondary school. I saw where books were sprayed on the floor and I bought the book. I went home. My God, what I saw in that book were tough and difficult. They were quite well advanced for my level. Yet I
Mm.
bought it. I
Mm.
bought that book then. I bought that book then. I gave my father math teacher then some questions in that book. He was like, these questions. He now turned the back and saw pure mathematics for advanced level by Monday. Then I didn't know advanced level meant. I thought advanced level was maybe SS3. That was my mind. Thought that was what advanced level
That was
meant.
engineering
It
level
was,
maths
it
now,
was,
guy.
it was, it was later I got to find out that secondary school is O level, ordinary level. Do you get?
Yes, on that
But
level,
before
yes,
then,
yes, yes.
before then, we've exposed ourselves to quite a lot of things.
Mm.
We've solved quite a lot of problems. I don't know whether you get. We've solved quite a lot
Yes.
of difficult problems. Difficult. I'm telling you of the days when we approach difficult things, wrote difficult things in exams that we were so exposed to difficult things that when I was in XS1, somebody who usually came second in our class, it was our deputy senior prefect. He was very good. One further mass exams that we were writing, the young man stopped writing and started crying. I could remember a very, a very exceptional
All right.
person.
Thank you so much.
A
All
very,
right. So there are key three things you've highlighted, right, that I want to
yeah,
iterate on before we move to the next question. First of all was a positive mindset. The fact that you scored that 174 did not discourage you from the fact that next year could be better. The next jam could be better. So anybody that is
yes,
on
sir.
the call, I don't know your previous jam score, but it's a mindset you need to sustain. I think victory starts from the mind. You have to win in the mind before you win physically. So I think everything starts
Exactly.
from the mind. That's why somebody wrote the battlefield of the mind. That should be Joyce Mayer. So I think it begins with the mind. So have that positive mindset that you see this year's jam, in as much I don't want to know the last result and the rest of them, but this year I'm going to do well. The next thing is a community, a circle, right? So I think that circle did a lot to you, basically. The fact that you have people that will challenge you, and that alone brought about the third part of it, which is the personal reading, your own devotion as a person. Can you still hear me? Confirm you can still hear me. Can we still hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, you
yes, we
can
can
see.
still hear you, sir.
Okay, okay, beautiful. So that brought about the devotion as a person from your own end. Seeing the fact that your circle they were doing really well. So I think one thing about circle is that let's call it accountability. You have a system where you're accountable to. That causes you to push for more. So that when you come for that meeting, actually, if they ask questions, you will answer. So that vibe of you bringing the contribution and the rest of them will actually contribute. So people on this call, I don't know what is your circle like? Do you have a community? Sismo is already a community that should assist you in all of these things. Do you have other people that are writing jam? Or is it some of those guys you have people that when you look at them, you're even studying more than them, you are going to be discouraged. Look for people that are hungry to make these jam exams. Look for people that are so desperate. Let me use that word. That kind of community will help you. Some persons are struggling to read because you don't have anything challenging you. By the time you move to a place where you see people studying and then you cannot say anything, you are going to go back to do something about that. So you also talked about something about reading deep into the night. And I think everything, even as he's talking, you can see that hunger again. You can see that passion. I think he's giving me that vibe again back to he's giving me that vibe again back to engineering. You can see that hunger again as he was talking. You get so it revolves around these key three things that he mentioned. And I'm glad that you are hearing it firsthand that all of these things are possible. Imagine waking somebody from sleep and what the person is quoting is formulas, right? I think when I encountered that kind of realm was in my 300 level. I think I shared with him as well back then in school that you solve a particular problem, solve and solve and solve and solve, and you sleep off. Then eventually, as you are sleeping, you jump from the bed. Even at some point, my roommate was afraid. She had, what is this guy? Something is wrong with this guy. I jump from the bed, go to the table. I solve and I get the answer. So it is a realm that you have to read to that point where, Oga, all these things are possible. So next question from you, brother. I'm so glad that you are here today, and we're getting a lot of things. And one key thing I also want to ask is, I know back then there was no phone, right? Myself back then I used LTE. I don't know, there was not, we didn't have access to smartphones. So what can you say? How can young people currently? I know that those things are a good tool as it can help them, but the distraction is too much. Some of them might have Bobo one side and Babe one side. That as they are chatting, they minimize to check up on the sister and the brother. They will watch comedy and the rest of them. So how can we? Some of them will pretend as if they don't know what I'm talking about, but those things are real. So what is your what is your advice at this point? How can they maintain a balance? And seeing that YouTube is a tool that will help them, ChatGTP is a tool that will help them. All of these tech tools are things that will help them. So how can they bring about a balance, seeing that the distraction was not as much as back then compared to now, so they can as well achieve excellence just like you did during your own time. Thank you, sir. Sorry, you're muted. You're muted. Sorry, you're muted. All
Okay,
right, go ahead, sir.
thank you
Yeah,
very
thank
much.
you.
Yeah. Um, one thing, one thing I know is that in this age, you shouldn't fight technology. Mm-mm. Don't fight it.
Mm, mm,
Yes, it has come to be,
mm.
and it will always be.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, true. True.
There was no sophistication in technology as it is today. And
Mm.
the truth remains that the higher the sophistication and then the technological
Advancement.
strength of the world today and advancement of the
Mm.
world today,
The more the distractions.
the more the distraction, the bigger the
Mm.
challenges that comes with it. So it will
Mm.
take a higher level of discipline now to be able
Mm.
to make good use of these technological tools and
Mm.
still shut out the disadvantages and the distractions from influencing you and affecting
Mm.
you. Because
Yes, sir.
if you actually utilize it in a positive sense and pick up its advantages to the greatest level, and then you are
Mm.
distracted by the distractions that comes with it to the lowest level, it will cancel the
Mm.
effect of the advantages it has given you, and it will give you a net effect of zero. You will have a
Yes, true.
resultant effect of zero. I don't know whether you understand.
Easy, 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 sir. Easy, sir. This are going to
It
resultant. Easy, easy. But I've taught them resultant already. I've taught them resultant already. They should know what is resultant. I've taught them already, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so it will look like you never used it to your advantage. It will look
Yeah,
like
true.
you never did anything to your advantage. Now, I will tell you my
Mm.
story of how I do my things presently
Mm. Mm.
in this technological world. Now,
Mm.
came I came to think about a few things. Of course, I just finished my service some just few months
Mm.
ago, November last year.
Yes.
So the school where I
Yes.
serve, I am presently there running one or two things for them, preparing their students for
Mm.
WAEC and JAM. You get?
Mm.
So I found out that after giving myself to those activities and doing the best I could, when I return back home, I find out that I am glued to my phone and it affects my personal development to a level. I don't know whether you
Mm.
can understand.
Yeah,
Now,
I get the point, sir.
what I did was this. When I go to school, I connect to the school Wi-Fi. Every material I would be needing for the day, the ones that would need that I download them, I would do so in school. The ones that I
Mm-hmm.
would need to use my data to do them, I would do so in school. Then when I return home, I shut myself. When I return home, my active times are maybe something like 7 p.m. in the night till maybe 12
Mm.
or even beyond 12 sometimes. I shut
Mm.
myself out from social media completely. And how
Mm.
do I do that? I do that by, it may be difficult for you. I'm telling you what works for me. I don't know about you. So what
Mm.
I do is that I download every material I need in school, connect to the internet, do everything I need in school. I know that my school period are times when I pour into people. And if I
Mm.
continue to pour into people and I do not develop myself when I get home, it will come to a point where I would become bereft of ideas. I would become
Mm.
destitute of knowledge. I will become dry of
Mm.
something to point to the next people. I don't know whether you understand what I
Mm.
mean. So what
I
I
get
do
your
is
point,
when
sir.
I
Yeah.
come back home, I shut myself out from the distraction of the media. How do I do it? I intentionally don't subscribe.
Mm.
Can you hear me?
Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. It now makes me now when I go to school, I connect, I do online things. But when I get back home, I keep in touch with reality. I'm no more in the virtual world as I was in the virtual world when I was in the school. I don't
Mm.
know.
In the
I
school,
now I
yeah.
now come to terms with reality now. I don't know whether you understand. I
Yeah, I
I
get your
keep in
point.
touch with sometimes the hard copy materials that I have because I know that
Mm.
at night, if I connect to the internet and drift to social media, it may become from one discussion to the other, from one discussion to
Yes,
the other.
true.
I'm telling you,
True.
I'm telling you of something that affects me, who I'm not a teenager. How much more will it affect a teenager? I don't know whether you
Mm.
understand. Because these
Mm. Teaching
people,
good, sir.
their hormonal increase is rise at this level and at this point. So they are given to restlessness. That's their nature. They are given
Mm.
to going up and down, jumping from this app to the other one to the other one. No. But when you become mature, you will find out that okay, I know I do for myself. I do pour myself into others in school, and I am
Mm.
online sending messages, doing
Mm.
this and doing that and doing that. Now, it doesn't mean that even if you want to do that, it doesn't mean you may completely shut yourself out like I do. Because sometimes when I shut myself out for about 2, 3 hours, maybe the fourth hour, I may just check online and see if there's a message to reply. You get? And then
Mm.
I can actually come back and do my work again. But I would not subscribe the limit of data that would help me become become so entrenched in it or become so engrossed with being online, maybe scrolling through Facebook, maybe watching videos, maybe no, I don't do that. I try as much as possible to cut it to the barest minimum. And so I am
Mm.
on ground. It's like I am more like offline and on site
Mm.
during the night, but
Mm.
during the day I
Mm.
am online.
Online, yes. And I
I
think I
don't know
like
whether you
that
understand.
analogy. I
I
get
am
your
doing
point
that so
entirely.
that at night period I can refuel myself. And when I show up during the day again, I can interact and pour out to the people. And because most messages and interactions happen during the day, I can be online and actually respond to any message or any request
Mm.
or any question.
Yes.
But at night,
Mm.
that's exclusively for myself and for my personal
Yes.
development. I don't know whether
Mm.
you understand.
Mm.
A night
I
is
get
the
your
time for
point.
sober reflection, and no man can
Mm.
be soberly reflective in the midst of a busy internet technological activities, distracting you,
Teaching good. Teaching
notifications
good.
over here, this over
Teaching
here,
good.
this over there.
Teaching good.
It's completely
Teaching good.
distracted.
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. So I would urge this generation to use the internet, use technological advancement to the best of their ability, but they should also study themselves to devise a means such that at a particular time they can shut themselves out of the distractions of the media, shut
Yes. And
themselves out of whatever distractions that
mm.
make them not to that makes or eludes the advantages of these technological tools being seen from
Mm.
their life, because the advantages
Mm.
ought to be seen in the
Yes.
sense that today you have easy access to knowledge. Our fathers didn't have
Yes.
that. They had to
Yes.
scout through textbook of
And like
hundreds of
yes,
pages
true.
just to
True.
gain a particular knowledge. And can I tell you the
True.
truth? The fact remains that that thing, it's built intrinsic values in them. It's taught them how to
It
sit
did.
down for hours. It
Yes,
took
it
them
did.
through the thought process and the rigor of thinking through answers, what the AI does for
True.
us today. So
True.
you find out that your creativity may be impeded if you are totally and completely given to the internet, to AI, and you do not create a system to at least for a few hours during the day shut yourself out from those things. And
Mm.
maybe when a question comes to you, those times when you've shut yourself out, try to reason it out first. Then, if it isn't possible,
Mm.
write it down somewhere so that when you are now tuned off from the offline studies, you can now online revisit that site or go to that AI tool and then search it out. I don't
Thank
know
you
whether
so
you
much.
understand me.
Yeah, yeah, I get it
But
entirely.
technology is of utmost important. It must not be
Mm.
relegated to the background. If you do it in this
Mm.
age, you will pay the price for it because others, your friends, will move ahead of you.
Yeah, they will. So now,
Yes.
if I get the point entirely, like a model that works is like you said. Now, all of those things that are going to do in the evening time, you download during the day so that at night you focus entirely on your work. And I think at this point in time, um, is a strategy that will work. Now, I am being intentional about it, like you said. Get those materials downloaded. The YouTube on your dashboard. If you click that dashboard, it takes you to YouTube. You can download the video on your phone. I think it's something that we can do. Off your data during the time you ought to study. For me, my WhatsApp notification is not on. The only time I will respond to your mail is when I come into WhatsApp. I think all of those things can help. So when you're watching the video Notifications are not popping up. Even like he said, we can download those videos and keep all of those things that requires you to use data to do. I think when I learned video editing in 2020, this might be funny, Sha, but it helped me in 2022 when I learned how to use Adobe Premiere Pro. Right? I didn't have so what I used then, it's funny, was this night sub. So what I normally do is that at night, it was more like a flip model of what you do, right? So at night, I download the videos using the free. Can you still hear me? Confirm you can hear me. Okay, beautiful. So it was more like a flip model of what he said. So my own time then, money for data no day. So I go normally do 25 naira for 250 MB. If I get 15 naira, that's 500 MB. You get. So download the videos at night. So during morning time, data no day now. So you have to now watch all of those things in the morning. So any strategy that you can use. Remember, like he said, if you want to achieve a particular thing, you will go all the way to ensure that your goals are achieved. So your phone is a distraction. Download those videos that you need during the daytime. Then, or any model that works, whether morning that you read or night that you read, anyone that works, download those videos and keep them intact. It is one key thing that is going to help so that during the daytime you are watching the videos, or at night you are watching the videos, so that your data, once your data is on, there's high tendency that yes, you are going to go do other things like your Facebook. And the funny thing is that you might read for 1 hour, you are tired, carry your phone 3 hours, you don't even know that 3 hours has passed, right?
Serious.
And there's something
Serious.
else I want to share on the call. I don't know if this tab has that feature, but let me check if it does. Right now, there is, let me see if I can join with the second device so that later on we can check that how you can time the number of hours you spend on the app. If your phone have this digital control, there's something we call digital control. You can search on your settings that can take you, once you put that time, it can show you number of hours you spent on WhatsApp, number of hours you spend on Facebook. So you can, digital well-being and parental control, we call it screen time. So if your phone has that, you can click on Facebook and set the goal of the number of hours you want to stay on the screen. Once is that time, 30 minutes, it locks by itself. But it takes discipline for you not to unlock it. Like once that time has elapsed,
That's
yes.
another
But it
thing.
brings that another thing. But then there's this consciousness, like it makes you guilty. When it goes off after 30 minutes, you open it again. Psychology will play a role. Oga, this you've spent so and so. At least it helped as well to keep us in check. Thank you so much, sir, for that. There are a lot of strategies, like you mentioned, that if we're intentional about this, we can and we can. This is someone that scored 324 and he didn't just appear from the sky. All of these things are possible. We have more tools and gadgets to do that now. All right. So one more question for you, sir, before we round it up. Just a very short one, not one question. Okay, I think the school Futo, that was your choice from the onset, right? It was part of
Exactly,
the
sir.
goal, and chemical engineering. Okay, so it wasn't what Jam gave you. It wasn't the school that Jam gave you. It was the decision you made, right?
Exactly, sir.
Exactly, and it also got the very score that you needed to give you
Yes,
what
sir.
you needed. All
Yes, sir.
right.
Yes, sir.
Um, The next one I needed to ask is, okay, so for our Sismo UTME students, have some of them are here. They have complained about them going to school. Some of them are using that as an excuse that they go to school, they come back, they are tired, right? But you've highlighted something. Even while in school, when you come back, you still have to study till midnight. And
Yes, sir.
let me share this. There was a friend I met, bro. This guy is, because of the kind of business that the mom does, right? This guy
Mm.
will sleep around 10:30 to 11. Okay, they were selling this Okpa. If you know Okpa, you should know.
Yes, yes,
For
yes.
those in the West, there's something we call Okpa here in Enugu that everybody likes. So, because of the process, at night they prepare it, they stay up to like 10 p.m. This same guy woke up around 3 a.m. so they can arrange the Okpa and everything. But you see, at the end of the whole day, the guy is still doing better than every other person. So, you ask yourself, where does he find time in between to now prepare to study? It is discipline as well. That he knows that, okay, this time now for, but this time now for his book as well. So in summary now, what can you tell our students now preparing for this year's jam? What is one of your strongest advice, like one of the strongest advice you can give to these our brethren that are quite right here on the call, that are hungry to succeed in this year's jam? What can you tell them?
Sir, please, can you repeat your question? You said The last place I heard very clearly was when you said he was outsmarting and doing better than every other person. I think I heard something like that.
Okay, okay. And I said, what would be your strongest advice? Like one strongest advice you can give to our students today preparing for this jam this year. These are the students, right? They'll be writing jam this year. The students here on the call will be writing jam this year. So, what is one of your strongest, just one strongest advice you would give them? Did you get my question, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right.
I would advise them that they should be they should commit themselves to personal study and be very consistent
Mm,
in it. If you should give
mm.
yourself, if you should
Consistency.
give yourself about 3 to 4 hours consistent study today, I don't know how you do it, but you have to fight for time. Maybe 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the night. If you are consistent from now till jam a month, and there will be a very clear difference between you of now and you of that time. Yes, there will be a
Mm,
very, if you are consistent in reading, like being consistent. Some people boast that they read a lot, but when you draw the curve of their reading pattern, it's an irregular curve. Like they may read for 8 hours today, the next time they will read, they are still sleeping because maybe they were awake almost all the night, yet the next 2 days they are sleeping that sleep that they did not sleep the previous 2 days ago. I don't know
mm, mm, mm. Can we still hear him, or is it my own network? Let me relieve this. Okay, is it my own network? His own network, right? But confirm you can hear me. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can give me, if you can hear me? Yeah,
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear
me?
you, but we lost you at some point. We lost you at some point. Hello, sir. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, we lost you at some point. Can you hear me? You might need to join back again. All right. So while he joins back, just give me a thumbs up if you can still hear me. Like if you can hear my own from my own side. All right, beautiful. So there's something you mentioned about consistency, right? The fact that you read for 8 hours today, and then the next time you are reading again, it's maybe 2 days later. So one thing he highlighted is about consistency, being consistent, right? Nothing happens by chance. And one key thing I have actually learned from what you said today is being intentional, right? Someone understanding that okay, morning time is the time I can check things online, evening time is the time I've dedicated to myself. It sends a signal, it says that this person is intentional. And when you see his result tomorrow, you don't begin to envy the result or like say, oh, how did this guy do all of these things? So it is something very, very possible, right? Funny enough, during his own time, all of these structures we have, Sismo bootcamp, blah blah blah, and the dashboard, and the rest was not there. So, and like he said, if you can commit yourself to this exam for the next 3 months, after 3 months, you have the time to yourself. You have the time for those things you are trying to do now, right? There's something I realized of recent, and I've told myself, right, that there's a particular period you want to do something. Just try to achieve it at that point because you will never be a jam. Okay, depending. There are some things you might not have time to do again, right? So imagine if you don't give the energy now and then jam eventually gives you any kind of course for you to study. What happens at the end of the day, right? So consistency, like he has highlighted, being intentional in terms of how you handle your phone. He mentioned something about your circle. Please have a group of friends that are serious about this jam, people that can challenge you, whether I think that will work if you have them physically or virtually, anyone at all that can be of help to you. That you guys are discussing about this exam. Let this exam be your anything you're discussing now should be about your jam. He spoke about personal reading as well because he wants to interact with his friends and everything. So he has to keep the pace. Imagine someone when someone is waking you from sleep, you're calling the formulas and the rest of them. All of those things are not things that happen by chance. It's more like someone that works in First Bank. That when you enter First Bank, the guy says, "Welcome to First Bank." And I was telling somebody that this guy that keeps saying "Welcome to First Bank," immediately you enter that bank. If that guy goes home, there's high tendency that when this guy is sleeping, he'll be saying "Welcome to First Bank." Like there is high tendency that even though as that guy is sleeping, he'll be saying that because of what is something that he's saying what repeatedly. I think he's back again. Mr. Good, are you here?
Yes, sir. Yes, I'm
Hello,
here.
sir. All right, okay, go
Yes,
ahead,
I'm
please.
here,
We
sir.
have just barely 7 minutes to round up. You are saying something about consistency when the network, when you dropped off.
Yes. Sorry for
Yeah, carry on, sir.
the
Yeah, thank
the
you, sir.
disruption. Yes. So that
It's
consistency
fine,
is
sir.
very important. And I would want to recommend something. I miss that consistency now. Can you hear me? Yes. Can
Yeah,
you
I can
hear
hear
me?
you loud and clear.
Yes. It
Yeah,
becomes
loud
very
and clear.
important that okay, I would want them to also engage something so as to ease themselves of pressure. What do I mean? And they can
Mm,
subject themselves
mm,
to writing some of these subjects, some of these difficult subjects, and then when they subject themselves to writing some of these difficult subjects, they should give themselves the exact time it will take them to write that paper on the day of JAMB exam. I don't know whether you get.
mm,
It does something to
mm,
them. It makes them look as though they had been in JAMB exam hall. If they do it for the next 30 days,
mm,
the pressure will die completely. They should
mm,
subject themselves, find themselves, let them act as though they were invigilators surrounding them, and then let them act as though they were writing original jump exam. And they should write it with their whole heart and the exact time it takes to write the jump exam and the exact number of questions, the whole jump questions, some sort to. They should sit tight there, never leave until they finish that question. And then they should time themselves and then mark
mm,
it and see how what the outcome will be. When they do that thing consistently over a period of at least 1 month, when they entered into the JAMB exam hall, they would feel very at ease, very much at ease, without any pressure, without any disturbance, because they've already been doing that. It's like they've written 10 or 15 jams before that jam.
mm, mm,
Yes.
mm.
I don't know whether you
So
get.
what he's saying here, yes, I get your point. He's not talking about mock. That person asking mock, you must be a funny person. He's not talking about mock at this point in time, right? He's not talking about mock, right? Stimulate the exam condition on your own. Stimulate the exam condition on your own. Time yourself. I think. Sorry, sorry, my bro. Mr. Good Gift, Mr. Good Gift. I
No, no,
think
no. He
they
just
will
called me
they will
his
run
name.
that they will not,
His
because if I call him a table, please, you guys, that's the name we use behind the scene. So if 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 you get to do that stimulation of exam condition, I think it really helps to show you, okay, so you, okay, how much time you spend in a particular subject. So stimulate that exam condition, put your stopwatch. I think, Mr. Good Gift, one thing that helped me as well during that time was
Yes,
not using calculator. I had to train myself for math questions not to use calculator. That was how
exactly.
I learned how to play around with standard form and the rest of them, because
Ex-
in my head I was like, all those their computer exam, that calculator might waste time. So training yourself and stimulating that exam condition, I think, is very real. Mock is a different ball
exactly.
game altogether. That mock is a different ball game. So start now to start solving past questions and mark it to yourself, just like um Mr. Good Gift has highlighted this evening. I think it's a very powerful strategy, that helps. How about the syllable? Did you make use of the syllable during your own time?
Um, the truth be told, I didn't make use of that. Why? In fact, how do I put this now so that you understand? We felt that that the syllables would constrain us. We are people who began studying as far back as SS1, so we were very voracious. So we didn't want to know the
Mm,
limit that the syllabus placed on us. Our
mm.
goal was to finish the textbook. Then
Exactly. I said this. I said
exactly
this. Covering the textbook. I said this. Go ahead, sir. I said
that,
this.
that,
Mm,
that was our goal. Our goal was to cover the textbook, and then we were so. Hi, God. But you don't want to know how much you don't want to know how much. You just made me remember something now. I remember a time when my mother
yes.
gave me money to go and buy memory card. Memory card. She gave me
Mm,
money to go and buy memory card. When I went to the place where I wanted to buy memory card, I saw where books were spread on the floor, and I just saw, and I wanted to take me during that time also. I just saw where they spread some books, and I found out a particular book. I just began reading the book. I didn't check the cover page very well. I just began reading the book, and it
mm,
interested me so much. When I saw the cover page, it was Unizik Pursuing Past Question. You know that I didn't buy that
mm.
memory card that day. I went home with that book. Yes. I went home with that book. God is my witness. I'm saying
Are
this
you
under God.
serious?
Now, to write Pursuing Jam ex to write Futo Pursuing exam, I'm talking about Pursuing now, I'm saying in
Mm,
the light of the our capacity and the
yes.
voracity
Yes.
habits that we
Capacity.
have.
Yes.
I read
Mm,
I read Unizik Posemi past question. I read Uniben Posemi past question. I read Futo own. I read UNN own for Futo exam.
mm. And I think it was a 340, right?
Yes, 340.
Mm.
It was
Beautiful.
340. So this was our pattern. We read so much that we didn't. I don't think God is my witness. I don't think I checked the syllabus for once to know what to read and what not to read.
You want
What
to
I just
cover
know is I
textbook?
was reading everything. I don't know. I don't know whether we
I
just
get a point.
we just have this appetite. But
Ah,
in case you don't have that, in
yes.
case you don't have that appetite until now, you didn't have that appetite until
Mm,
now. It's still wise to make use of the syllabus. It doesn't cancel the place of the syllabus
yes.
at all.
Yes,
All right.
syllables, yeah.
So
Okay, makes
please,
sense. Makes
just
sense.
make use of the syllabus. It's very important because some of the
Mm,
things
mm,
our passion was so much fueled. One of the things that also fueled our passion was then when we had internet, limited access to internet. I could remember I was always browsing the best students in WAEC Nigeria, best students in JAM. Oh boy, those things helped my life. I could remember
mm,
reading about one Josiah Aban that made 6 A1s in WAEC, Lagos State, highest result then.
mm,
Then,
mm.
if you make up to 5 A1, then you are a genuine, you are a guru,
Yes, true.
you are too
True.
good.
True.
Not now when
True.
you see students make up to 5 A1s, and yet you know that these things do not culminate into it doesn't show you their real ability because many things
Yes,
have
true.
been tempered
Behind the
with
scenes. Yes.
good. So I'm telling you of the days when people were excellently good. I would browse best in Calvin mathematics competition, best in I was such a voracious, I had so much hunger. So these things fueled my passion. It fueled
Mm,
it so much, developed my passion. So whenever I was acting out what I had soaked myself in.
mm,
What I had spent time to soak myself in. So what I'm saying in essence is this: that I've already said it before. They should subject themselves to exam conditions, and then be consistent in the number of hours. They should be you should know your strength where you are now. So I would
mm,
advise you to
mm,
choose the least. There's something called the threshold that you should not go below. There are a number of hours you
mm,
shouldn't go below. You know how much you have prepared until now. Then, based on that, know how much number of hours you shouldn't go below. Let's say somebody else may
mm,
not go below 4 hours in a day. Somebody else may not go
mm,
based on where he or she is. Maybe he or she
mm,
is far behind. You shouldn't go below 5 hours, below 6 hours. That's good. Just
mm,
know where you
mm,
are now. Meter yourself, and then give
mm,
yourself it every single day. Every single day. When you do it day one, day two, day three, it comes to a point you attract the spirit of consistency too. And then you don't know
mm.
where you see your life tomorrow. That attitude copies and pastes into every other areas of your life, even beyond
True.
jump now. It will fire you like
True.
an arrow into the university. You walk in that
True.
spirit, move in that spirit,
True.
pursue with that
True.
spirit.
True.
Very, very
True.
important. When we do things, we
Yeah.
don't just do things for the now. We also do things for
Yes.
because of the resultant effect. There's what we call chain reaction in chemistry and physics. Because of the
Yeah.
chain
Yes.
reaction effect. So it's very,
Mm.
very important. Very, very
Mm.
important.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sir. I think that's very, very key. And I think in my entire life, the first time I read new school chemistry for the first time, front and back, was that 2017 during JAM. So first time, front and back. And then this new school physics, that was still the
Yeah.
first time. And funny enough, Mr. Goodgate, some things I teach today are from back in the days. That 2017, that cover to cover.
Exactly now.
That when you are looking for something
Exactly.
now, you know exactly where it is. You are not going back to read again because the most I can do is
Good.
just to brush through. You get
Good.
so
Sorry,
it
sir.
helps
Sorry,
you.
sir.
Go ahead, sir.
I was telling my students, I told them, these textbooks people are carrying now, this thing we read it cover to cover. I told them, I said, I know where nitrogen is in chemistry. It should be from page 400 and something down, and that page is blue in color. I told them water is about pink in color, where they talked about hard water, soft water, and all that. I told them of stoichiometry about blue in color, about green in color rather. Then when you want to go into deep stoichiometry, you see the purple part of that textbook. You see organic one purple in color. You see organic two orange in color. You know that these things are,
Hmm.
and those times, we call those textbooks by their authors. We don't just call them by, we call it Oseya or Ababio. We call it in full as
Yeah,
long as we
Babio.
realize.
Yes.
So, so,
So,
so
bro,
when
yeah,
you heard us then,
it's.
you
Mm,
ask this fellow, do you have Ababio? We don't say, which one is Ababio again? We say, new school chemistry. Now, we don't know Ababio again. We say, call it new
mm.
school chemistry now. We call new school physics, MKW, Anyakoha.
Yeah, Anyakoha.
What's up,
Yeah,
easy?
Anyakoha. I'm PNO KK.
PNOK, senior secondary school physics now.
Yes, 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 yes.
We, we,
Oh boy.
we read like madmen.
It's entirely fine, my bro. So all of this conversation is to tell young people that all of these things are possible. It's something you do for a season. And do you know one thing about this? Somebody will be like, it's not about book, it's not about book, right? It builds discipline in you. I'm not saying this out of let's just exaggerate. The fact that you can see that it's helping me today. The fact I
Exactly.
can sit down from 2:30 p.m. until to 10 p.m. I'm not no, it's not money. It's about the same consistency, ability to sit down, discipline that have been built over the years because of what? Ability to sit down to read. You don't get tired easily. You can actually do some things because you've built the habit to do that. So my people,
Exactly.
beyond this jump, beyond this jump, there is something that we could do, right? It's a discipline we can get that can help you. You never can tell the doors and the opportunities that will come through it. And there's nothing as satisfying as studying that course you want to study, right? He studied chemical, which has been his dream course, right? Anybody, anything you want to study is entirely possible. Good enough. The friends he had as of then, all of them, I think all of them had the other guy is done now. Doc is done now.
Yes, yes, yes.
And the other person are doing their medicine now. They went direct to the course they wanted to study.
Exactly.
Exactly. So you see, the circle of friends, he's done with chemical. Other ones are doing their medicine currently. So it's something I believe that all things are possible. So if you're on the call currently, you have questions to ask. I think this is your time because I have a session now. The students are already waiting for me. So can we have those questions? If you have questions to ask on the chat, you're here on the call, you have questions to ask. Can we quickly take those questions? I think everybody, we are good. Abby, can we end the call? Okay, Messi, I'm over to you. Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, you said something about um setting your phone device or something like so
Okay.
that you have timer on your apps.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can share how we can do it on
Okay.
our because
Well, let me quickly try now. Let me log out from the class I joined now so that I can quickly share my screen.
okay.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Okay. Just 3 minutes. Any other person? Any other person that has questions here on the call? If anybody performs, if your jam score is low, I think there will be a problem, right? Because we've given you everything that you need, right? Doc will be here next week. He studied medicine, right? He will be here next week as well. So that you don't say that he's an engineering man, he's using a lot of equations. So we're bringing someone that also studied medicine as well, so that there will be a balance. Good kid to understand, but so they will not be like,
Yes, sir.
now only engineering guys we carry come. You get so. I think that's one thing that we're going to do for them as well, right? All right, so I'm sharing my screen shortly. Yeah, confirm you can see my screen.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I will quickly go to settings now. So under settings, I don't know for that. This is Redmi now. This is how Redmi. That's what the structure looks like. So you go to digital well-being and parental control, right? If your phone is more advanced, you're going to have more advanced features. So digital well-being and control. I'll go to that place. Now it's going to load. So now it's going to show me what happens today, right? So you've seen that overall, the number of hours I've used my phone today is 7 hours, 37 minutes, right? And of course, I spend so much time on WhatsApp, right? It can just be there, minimize and keep it there, parents and the rest of them. So Facebook has red, I think has the lowest time, then normal phone, then others. It's going to break it down in terms of app timers now. So for your app timers, you can have a particular time for each day. So things on, you can come to LinkedIn now, click here. You can say, okay, today I want to spend just 55 minutes on LinkedIn. So you click OK. It's just there. Once it's that 55 minutes, it locks on its own. So for WhatsApp, you can click on WhatsApp and decide that, okay, today I want to spend, but for me, I don't usually time my WhatsApp because most of my classes and everything. So, but then you can just put WhatsApp to be 1 hour. You time your WhatsApp, you know. You can come to Facebook, you say, okay, Facebook today, I just want to do 10 minutes. So overall, you can spread it across social media platform. Let's say 15, 3 hours for the whole distance. So I think it's something that can really, really gives you a target and gives you the number of hours you spent on your call. Once you go to digital wellbeing and control, you're going to see it right there. So for example, now let me show you what it's going to look like if I've locked one of them. Okay, look at this. Let's see something. All right. So you've seen that I've spent 28 minutes on Facebook today. So it's showing me 28 minutes and my timer is 10. So that means look at the column now. Let's go and check for what Facebook on my this thing. you will see that it is blocked. Are you seeing? I cannot tap it. And there's something that's why I say that this thing works sometimes. Sometimes, let's say I'm in class, and maybe the student that is solving a particular question. I want to scroll to check something. When it comes to Facebook, I feel like I cannot click it. I will leave it. There's this consciousness, like it's just there. You cannot. But once it's green, oh, I feel type LinkedIn now. But once it's that way, you'll not be able to tap. So that's what exactly what and how it helps. I sure you do hope you can check the phone. Ensure that your phone is as brutal as my own. Uh, if your phone is not as brutal as my own, don't use anyhow. Don't use itel to be checking that. All right. All right. Any question? Any other person? Any other person? Any other person? All right. I think we are all good. And someone sent a message to me, and look at what the person said. Right. So the person said, I was touched, but I don't know what to do. Right. He said, "Sir, please, this is my second time I'm writing jam, and I'm finishing school. I finished school last 3 years. I really want to pass my exams." He's speaking American English for me. I really want to pass my exams. So I failed. I failed last year. I got 173. I wanted to study medicine and surgery, and my parents, they were really disappointed. But the thing is that the school I went to wasn't teaching very well. I didn't understand anything, and now I came out. Things are really very difficult. I want to open my books. I will sleep off. I just don't know. I'm telling you this, if there's any suggestion or what I can do to pass my UTME exams this year, please, sir, I need your help. So that was the question. That was the plea. So what can you say to this person that is really, really genuine? He wants to do and make things better. What can you say? And then we'll round up with that question.
Okay. At this stage now, I think for such a person as this, who really wants to, there is the desire there, but the motivation may be very low because of the past failures. You get? The only thing you can do at this time, the only thing that you can do at this time now is to abandon yourself in the midst of a people whose motivation, whose passion can help you rise again. You may not be able to do it individually alone now within this short time and prevail. I don't know whether you understand. So look for
Yes,
look
sir.
for a body of students, even if it is through lesson centers. Just look for a body of students you can join yourself to. Do you get? So that as they are talking and asking questions, you are contributing, you are asking, you are trying to be curious. I don't know whether you get. Just try to be curious. Just the goal is now to rekindle the fire first. I don't know whether you get. Although you
Yeah, I
have
get the
very
point.
limited time to jump, but just rekindle the fire first. When you rekindle the fire and the passion first, even if you feel you are a type that used to read on your own before this failures came, it should still be there, latent in you. What you just need is just a little rekindling, and you maybe you can decide to now stay on your own again and begin to read if that's the best that works for you. But just
Also, yeah.
please immerse yourself in the midst of people who are good and who know what they're doing. Yes,
And and
who know
and the
what
boot
they're
camp
doing.
is a good place for him. The boot camp is a good place
Good,
for
it's
him. Yeah,
good.
the
And
boot
so
camp is a
I,
good
of
place.
course, I trust Sismo Bootcamp because I know what Sismo can do and I know how he motivates his students. I know how he tries to gather every innovation, technological advancement, how he wants to, even through technology, telling you that I think I saw one of his status one time when he was talking about the eyes and how you can position your eye. You find out that he is somebody who is no longer focusing on the brain alone now. He's trying to tell you of the connection between your heart and your eyes. Very, very important that you know where to direct them and how to use them effectively. So please put yourself in the midst of a people, a community that will brush you up, of which Sismo is a very perfect one. So put yourself in that community, submit yourself to it, and then try to contribute, strive to contribute whenever something is done. Yes, because if that's all to contribute, next year you will go home and make research so that you will come up with an idea or something to say. And with that, you will find out that your passion keeps increasing. And make sure you don't intentionally miss any class or any seminar.
True,
Yes.
true,
Now,
true.
what you cannot do by going to the deepest part of yourself to steer yourself up again. What I just advise people is just to abandon themselves just as they are in the midst of people who are already astir, who are already on fire. Let them just leave themselves. This thing is very real in real life. Just abandon yourself there. So long as you are a man, so long as you are human, you will be influenced. Your influence will rub off on you.
True, True.
Yes, and if it rubs off on you now, it depends on now you said medicine and surgery. It means the expectation is very high. Then you
They're very
begin to
high.
once you get the fire, you make sure you nurture it as much as you can. If you read 1 hour today, it means you can be able to read 1 hour tomorrow.
True.
Now, if you read
True.
if you read 1 hour tomorrow, don't stop there. Push again till you read 1 hour 1 minute. Even if it's 1 hour 1 minute, you have exceeded that 1 hour. Now, these little things are things people do not pay attention to that subconsciously affect the human mind. Now, once
Mm,
you can be able to, I'm telling you the truth, once you can read up to 1 hour today, tomorrow, once you hit
mm,
1 hour, you must not read anything below 1 hour. You always remind yourself, yesterday I read 1 hour, I can still do it again. Push. Even if it's an hour, 10 minutes, read it. You are growing. The next day, an hour,
mm,
30 minutes. The next day, 2 hours. The next day, don't never you stop at 1 hour 59 minutes. If you stop at 1 hour 59 minutes, you'll spoil the show, you've spoiled the pattern. It's about the pattern, not about
mm.
the long distance now. Because you are trying to develop
The
and generate a pattern.
pattern.
I don't know whether
Mm.
you get. So, my
Yes,
dear,
sir.
within a very short time, give yourself to these things and trust also the grace of God. Because you must not forget the
Mm,
God factor. Because
yeah.
anybody who wants to study medicine and surgery now, considering the time we have, if you must surely excel
Mm,
and do very well, you must
mm,
combine hard work with the God factor. So that
yeah, God
where your
factor.
where your efforts cannot reach, His mercy will overrule it.
Yeah. Revival. Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I believe the person that asked the question is on the call and is hearing all of these things. That it's quite possible. Just like you said, there's always heat transfer. If you bring a cold object together with hot objects, what happens? There's usually a transfer of heat, from the hotter object to the colder object. So it's something that is quite possible. So just start from where you are currently. The videos are there and the rest of them to guide you through, and we know that you're going to do really well. So thank you so much for joining the session. Mr. Good Gifts. It's a good one to have you on board, and I'm glad that you honored our invite. Thank you so much. And
And
this session, okay, go ahead, sir.
yeah, sorry, sir, I have one more thing to say.
Okay,
Sometimes
okay.
um
Mm,
the you may not the teaching pattern of some persons around you may also not go well with you. That's why you have plethora of teachers on the YouTube. Just go to the YouTube
mm,
and you have
mm.
you have now different people with different teaching methods. And
I'm
then
telling you,
if you are under Sismo too, of course I know him. When we were in the university, we used to use his flash drive. There's what we call flash drive. Sorry, did I say flash drive? Sorry, flash card. We used to make we
okay.
used to make take notes, but we call flash card there. He would make it, explain it in simplified form. That was what we normally read for our exam. He would simplify everything. So attach yourself, just as you've already attached yourself to Sismo, but beyond after every Sismo programs or every Sismo class, you can go on your own
Explore,
again. And
explore,
also YouTube, search out for videos. Search out for videos and
explore.
watch videos so that this is now when you've left your friends. So that because you are trying to
Mm,
animate something that demotivation within you. That's
mm.
we want to reactivate it and reignite it again. I don't know whether you get.
Explore. Yeah,
Yes,
I
so
get the
these
point
videos will also
entirely.
be of great help. Thank you.
Explore, explore. I keep saying this. Explore. You have YouTube. Explore. Explore. Watch videos. Not be only comedy when I go to watch. Explore videos. Are sometimes you guys will ask me something on some questions. I'll be like, go to YouTube. Like the kind of videos we have on YouTube. I don't know whether we can exhaust them. You say you don't understand resultant vector. Just type resultant vector. They will kill you with video. Now you go run. 10 minutes video, you are good to go. 15 minutes, you don't need to watch every, like, a lot of things are outside there, and I hope that we're going to do well. And Mr. Good Gift, I think we're going to end with a short prayer. I think you're going to lead that prayer, and I believe I hope before then any Muslim in our midst, so I don't break protocols. But I feel so I don't break protocols, so I don't break protocols. But I feel like Mr. Good Gift is a man that I believe when you see grace, you tap from the grace. So these students were preparing for exam, they were writing their Jamb exams this year. So just while they put in the work, I also believe that there's a place of prayer. So just briefly, maybe in 3 minutes, you could just give them a little prayer on them that the Lord will help them as well to do well and still navigate the same path that you navigated, so that by tomorrow, during one of the Sismo boot camp, by next year, we can call one of them that wrote jam this year to be one of the speakers in that very boot camp. Do you believe it's possible? Those on the call, do you believe you can be an inspiration to those writing next year? Yes, you can come to the boot camp and share your own story. Yes, yes, yes. So, Mr. Good Gift, over to you now. Right. Thank you.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Yeah, Mr. Hillary, you can hit the record. Stop the record. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus we pray.
Amen.